What's up, gang? Fish Like Me number 5. Okay, I've been going on and on about a crankbait, so I need to probably put a crankbait up against some other of the favorite, historically good bass fishing baits. Okay, so a lot of my friends say, what about the worm? And anyone that knows me, fished in my boat, knows that I throw a worm as much as anyone, if not more than everybody. I love it. It's a great fish catcher. I feel like if I need to catch a fish and I know I'm around a bunch of fish, a worm will do that. If I'm going to a pond where those fish are all trapped inside there and I need one bait to get a bite, it's going to be a worm. I get that. But if I'm trying to cover a 70,000 acre lake in 3 days, a worm is not going to cut it. It's too much water to cover, and you need something that's going to pull the fish to you better than a worm. A worm is great around the spawn. You have a little spawning stretch. It's 100 yards. You know there could be a fish anywhere. You just slow down with the worm. It's summertime. You're out on a ledge or a big grass bed, and you know there's a bunch of fish there, and you got to slow down and just milk it for everything it's worth. A worm is the best thing for that. But when I'm talking about the first thing you learn, the first thing you buy when you go to the tackle store, if you're going out on a public lake that's bigger than a pond and you need to find fish, you need to let the fish not be totally dictated by the conditions. A crankbait is going to be your best option. If you have to throw it from January to December, a crankbait is going to be your best option. A crankbait is one of the best baits in the pre-spawn. It's one of the most underrated baits in the spawn, and it's killer in the post-spawn. You can mimic a bluegill with it. You can go up in sizes with your crankbait. The first fish to hit those offshore ledges, a deep diving crankbait's the best way to get them to fire. It's going to work all through the summer, and then it's going to be killer in the fall when those fish get back on bait fish. The best imitator of a bait fish, a crankbait. So another popular bait, probably the most historic bait other than maybe a jig, would be a spinnerbait. A spinnerbait is an awesome bait. That's a bait that I throw a lot. It's great in the pre-spawn, one of the best baits in my opinion in the post-spawn, and it's one of the best baits in the fall. But you need a certain condition. A bluebird, sunny, calm day will crush a spinnerbait bite like anything. And if you don't have the right conditions for a spinnerbait, it's almost worthless. You know, if you don't have the right time of year for a spinnerbait, it's not going to do you any good. A crankbait, you can get them to bite it in every type of situation. That's why I would, 12 months out of the year, no matter what the weather brings, I will put a crankbait up against any bait, and that's why it needs to be the first thing that you learn. Thanks, guys. Give it a try and let me know how it goes.